Kateschwanke and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the best apple pie that I've ever eaten, and it's actually a family recipe, so I'm really excited to share it with you guys. This recipe includes a homemade crust as well as a homemade filling. This pie is perfect for taking anywhere all year round, but especially during the holidays, so Thanksgiving and Christmas, this is the pie you want to bring. If you want to see more on this recipe, definitely visit my blog. I'll leave it right here and also down below in the description for you guys. And on the blog, I will have the entire recipe written out for you as well as this video. So there are two parts to this recipe. I'm going to be showing you guys how I make the crust for this recipe as well as the filling. So here's what you're going to need. So to make this recipe with both the filling and the crust, you're going to need a bag of Honeycrisp apples. That's what I use. You can definitely use other types of apples, but these are my favorite for this pie. You'll also need flour, sugar, cinnamon, oil, some cold water, 1 egg, salt, butter or margarine, and you're definitely going to need a rolling pin. So let's get cooking. Set your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, get a large bowl and fill it with cold water, and here's a quick tip. If you add some salt to the water and you put your apple slices in it, your apple slices will not turn brown for quite a while. Next, get started on peeling all those apples because you have 8 to go through and this is going to take some time. Next, let's get started on coring these apples. So grab your corer and cutter and get started. After you've done that, grab a knife and start cutting all the slices in halves. This makes them a little bit thinner so it's easier to pile them up into a pie. Next, as you get through each apple, add the slices to your bowl of cold salt water. Meanwhile, in another bowl, mix your sugar, salt, flour, and cinnamon all in a bowl. Get your whisk and mix together. After you've let your apples soak in the salt water for about 10 minutes, go ahead and drain them and rinse them so that you get all that salt off. Transfer them to a larger bowl and then gradually add in your sugar mixture into the apples. Get a large spoon and start scooping everything together and mixing well. Make sure all the apples are covered with the cinnamon sugar mixture, and it should look like this when you're done. Next, let's get started on the crust. In a medium bowl, add in 3 cups of flour, salt. Go ahead and whisk that all together before you add in your wet ingredients. Add in 8 tablespoons or half a cup of water, and 1 cup of oil. Now mix together with a large spoon. And this is how it should look when you are all done mixing. Next, you can knead the dough even more. Once you're done with that, split the dough in half because this is a 2-crust pie. You're going to need each half. Starting with the one, let's go ahead and put this into our pie dish. Now you can either roll this flat and then put it in, or you could add it in the way I am. I like to press it in. Next, spoon in all of your apples and your sugar mixture together. You are going to have a little bit of excess water in there. That is totally okay to add into the pie. That's got extra sugar in there, which you definitely want. Next, make sure everything lays nice and smoothly on top. Top with 1 pat of butter. Next, take the other half of the dough and roll it out onto your surface with a rolling pin. Make sure it is even, round, and large enough to cover the top of your pie. And don't laugh at me, but I do like to use a spatula to separate my crust tops from my surfaces. It makes it really easy to take it off and also helps me place it on top of my pies. Next, you're going to want to grab your fork and fuse your edges together. Next, take your knife and cut all the way around your pie to get all that extra crust off. Once you've done this, it looks beautiful and ready to go in the oven. Make sure that you vent your pie by cutting at least 4 strips in the top of it to help let the air out. The last step of this recipe is to separate your egg whites from the yolk. You're going to use the egg whites to cover the top of your pie, and this creates an amazing glistening crust. When it's all done, it looks gorgeous, and I highly recommend that you guys do this on any pie that you make. Take your brush and brush the egg whites all over the crust of your pie. Next, your pie is all ready to go in the oven, so go ahead and place it in. Then set your timer for 10 minutes at 450 degrees. When it's all done at 10 minutes, go ahead and bring it out and let it cool down for just a little while until your oven is down to 350 degrees. When it's reached 350 degrees, go ahead and put your pie back in, and there it can finish cooking the rest of the way. Set your timer for 45 minutes and just wait and smell the amazing aroma of your house starting to smell like apple pie. Doesn't that look amazing? And it smells amazing too. And there's your finished product, a beautiful homemade apple pie, homemade filling, homemade crust, and you can take this to any get-together that you go to and people will love it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and definitely subscribe while you're here if you're new. If you end up trying this recipe, please comment down below and let me know what you thought. I'd love to know. Thanks for watching.